Radical.
All right, here's a quick review of Dragon's Dogma, the anime, the Netflix adaptation of the video game. I haven't played much of the video game. I'm pretty sure I started it. And then there's another one I played that was similar to it. I forget the name of it. I'm bad about starting games. It's just not getting back to them. But Dragon's Dogma is one that I really want to play and finish because I've heard great things about it. Unless the video game has a terrible ending like the anime. Okay, are you bracing yourself? Have you seen the show? Are you going to see the show? I'm letting you know right now, this is going to be a spoiler. And I hope that the video game ending, don't spoil that for me if you can avoid it, okay, please, because I want to play the video game. Unless the video game ending has the same exact ending as the anime, because the anime ending was trash, it was terrible, one of the worst endings I've ever seen, which is a bummer because there's several things about this show that I absolutely love. For instance, I thought going into it, I would hate the animation style. There's points to where, yeah, I can see it looks a little bit fakey. You know, maybe they're walking a little bit slower than they should be. But I will tell you right now, I've seen a lot of this particular anime style, the new type of anime style that's trying to be incorporated into a lot of different shows. I hated it, absolutely hated it in the new Trigun series. Couldn't stand it. It was terrible, of course, in the redo of Berserk. Laughably bad. But here, it's far from perfect. I don't think they perfected this animation style, but it's unique. It looks okay. It looks perfectly fine for what it is. There's even points where I'm looking at the animation and it just pops. And I'm like, okay, now, right, okay. For me, you got to pass the visual test. I'm very shallow when it comes to anime. I have to have it look really nice for me to really kind of get into it. The visual has to be there. I know. I mean, that's my thing. I just cannot enjoy an anime if it looks terrible, if it looks atrocious. I mean, it can be a simplistic design. It could be simple and have a great story, and I can maybe stomach it. But to win me over, you got to look really good. I'm kind of like a female. I'm shallow in that respect too. First off, if I'm going to be interested in the female, she has to be pretty much gorgeous. All right, you got to win me over in that respect. No apologies for being shallow. I'm just upfront about it. Same thing with a sports car. If I buy a sports car or something, or any kind of vehicle, it's got to look pretty good. Can't be a fucking ugly Cybertruck. I ain't buying that ugly piece of shit. Yeah, but it goes like 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. I don't give a shit. All right. I wouldn't be caught dead in that ugly piece of shit. All right. Especially the silver one. Okay. It's the one vehicle you drive around where if people don't know what it is and they don't know it's a $100,000 vehicle, they will point and laugh at you. Looks terrible. I just can't get over how so many people are just like getting boners over that Cybertruck. But still, my apologies going off topic. Series looks good. I like the voice acting in it. I'm reading that the dragon's voice was the same voice from the game. I love the dragon in this. Brutal. A brutal dragon, exactly how I would figure a dragon would be. So I was really invested in the story. There's a lot of death in it. I mean, it's a brutal anime. It really is. I mean, I'm kind of desensitized to it because, like, I've seen Berserk, I've seen Ninja Scroll, I've seen Vampire Hunter D. Like, I've seen a lot of, like, gory, brutal anime. So maybe it's not, like, the most brutal. I like so much about it. And it was a short anime, 7 episodes. So I'm like, okay, I could power through this. They had me up until the ending, which I'm going to get to. Going to quickly get this out of the way because my chicken's getting cold here. Absolutely terrible. You ready for the spoiler? All right. Essentially, the story, by the way, is there's this fighter. I'm not sure if he's an actual soldier or just a skilled fighter. I'm not sure his backstory. But he's the main character. And what happens is you have the village he's at burned down. And at first you think his wife, who I believe would be pregnant at the time, is going to be safe. But then Or does he have a son in it? See, I'm already one to forget the show because the ending is just that bad. Anyway, his family is taken from him by the dragon, and his heart is taken from him by the dragon. And somehow there's what's called a pawn comes by, heals him up somehow, and he becomes kind of like a zombie of sorts without a heart. And has this big scar in the middle of his chest. So his goal is to, of course, go kill the dragon, revenge, as you would want revenge on the dragon that took your family away from you. And there's 7 episodes. There's 7 deadly sins. They go over lust in one of them. They go over greed. They go over pride. I like that aspect. See, there's so many things I like about this series. But at the end, you have a big fight with the dragon. And you're thinking to yourself, damn, it's pretty impressive if this one man and this kind of magical pawn can take on a gigantic dragon without completely just being destroyed instantly. I mean, this dragon could take out a whole village of fighters by just breathing the hot fire breath on them. And I guess it just doesn't dawn on me that this dragon is trying to get him to come and take him on. I was thinking the dragon is just prideful, but turns out the dragon wants this person to kill them so they can die because they're cursed to continue hunting and killing humans because of, I don't know the details specifically of the curse, but this dragon cannot die unless, I guess, there's a new dragon. And what happens is, well, again, super spoiler alert, the dragon is defeated. The journey of the hero is completed. Kills the dragon. And then goes into super red eye mode. Kind of like that one character in the first episode of Cowboy Bebop goes into super red eye mode and starts eating on the dragon's heart. I'm like, whoa, all right. So you got your heart back. The idea is maybe you're going to take the dragon's heart and start eating your heart, or does the dragon have an extra heart because it took your heart? Not clear. So as part of the curse, it gets passed down, and this character starts to become the dragon. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's teaching us revenge is bad, but it doesn't make a sense because there's full justification in the killing of that dragon. Because the dragon, and he says it several times to the dragon when the dragon's trying to say or justify, be like, well, I'm a dragon, that's what dragons do and everything. And no, you burn down villages. You kill countless humans. You took my family away from me, so I'm going to kill you. I would have accepted an ending to where maybe he dies defeating the dragon. Maybe he gets burned to death, but he has just enough power to slit the dragon's throat or something along them lines. Or he kills the dragon. There's still the curse. He starts to turn into the dragon. And then the pawn, who's there to pretty much do whatever the Arisen wants, is there to, well, you can make an argument to protect the Arisen. But I think the biggest protection of the Arisen would be to kill the Arisen before the Arisen turns into a dragon and to let this soul rest at peace and let him go on to be with his family. There's 2 possible endings. Okay, number 1, kill the dragon, get revenge. Number 2, die in battle with the dragon, go on to join your family. Number 3, die in battle with the dragon, and then the curse, you're going to start to become the dragon. But because you're trying to grab on your hand and keep yourself from turning into the dragon, you can't lift the blade to kill yourself. The anime doesn't make it quite clear, at least to me, why he couldn't slit his own throat. There's another character that killed himself in it, he couldn't slit his own throat before he turned into the dragon, but he does not. So he's begging, pleading the pawn to kill him, let him go be with his family. He completed his story. But no, this dumb bitch just drops the blade and watches him turn into the dragon. So now he's got to suffer, and the cycle of suffering continues. And then as the dragon's flying away, he says, make sure to protect them from me. Meaning he's probably going to find another sap, another fool, and then they'll start this process over again to where the pawn will show up hey, I healed you. I'm the pawn here, and I'm here to... It almost makes you wonder, did the dragon send the pawn? Because the pawn pretty much brought him to the dragon to do exactly, what he was wanting to do. Utter shame. This is one of the worst anime endings I have ever seen. It's just terrible on several fronts. It is. And again, if some of you have played and got through all of Dragon's Dogma, only let me know if it's worth my time to play it if it has this exact same terrible ending. Okay, please don't tell me what the ending is unless it's exactly this. I don't want to play through a video game where I get through the whole damn game, I get through all the bosses, and it has this same fucking terrible ending. All right?